All right. Testing, testing. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Yes, good. Good, good. We're gonna be we're going to be somewhat playing it by ear today because I am only on one screen. And so I need to have you're gonna see what we're typing and what's going on. Let's just go ahead and start the screen share and go live. Good to see everybody. Okay, you should you should see my screen. I had to use Zoom to record this. I couldn't get the normal recording tool to function the way it was supposed to. So I just hurried and turned it on. So I made sure I have a recording for those who aren't able to make it. Let me just pull up over here. And in fact, you know what I'm going to do? While we're waiting for others to join us, I'm going to get on Discord on my phone so I can see the chat. Yes. Okay. Perfect. Perfect. I can see your chat from my phone. That way it allows me to just keep my screen up the whole time. Let's just get to the market and we'll be ready to go here. We're going to give it just one more minute to make sure we have everybody here. Um, yeah. Well, while we get that last minute, apparently my chart settings did not carry over with this new computer. So I'm going to hurry and set these up. This is something we went through the other day. So if you're like, oh, this is great, I wish I could set these up quickly like this, that would certainly be something you'd have the ability to do. I'm going to apply this to volume. I'm going to make it 20 days. We'll say okay there. Let's get me a stochastics, slow stochastics. And I'm going to change that to be 70, 30, 7, 3. Okay. And lastly, be back in 20. Sorry, phone turns. Okay. All good. Yeah, good to see everybody. Lastly, let's get some implied volatility on here, and then we have our stuff and we'll get cracking. Implied volatility and go. There's our charts, the way we know them, the way we love them. And I don't have my slides today. I'm realizing as I was about to go through the intro. So let me just remind you, welcome out to the Market Watch group. Market Wrap, Friday Market Wrap. Wait, you're not seeing the screen? Ooh, it's supposed to be sharing. Hold on. Hold on. Let's get this screen going and go live. I thought we said it was sharing, so that's my fault, everybody. How about now? Now are we seeing the screen? Yes. Okay. Perfect. Perfect. I hope it doesn't. Oh, I know what's happening. It's kicking me off because I'm trying to be in two places at once. Yep. I see what's happening. I thought I gamed the system. Can you hear me now? I thought I gamed the system, but I did not. Okay. Okay. Fair enough. We learned. I'll have to just come back. I'm going to be a little light in seeing your comments. So let's just talk about the market. Are we getting what we think we need to convince us? My answer is no, not yet. What were we comparing this to? We were comparing this. Let me go back in time real quickly here. We were comparing it to this right here. We were saying, oh, we came down, came back up. We had this sell off. And then the next day, oh, what happened the next day here? It was average volume, but it was bigger than the previous day and it busted above the previous high. Are we doing that now? The answer is no, we're not. The answer is no. So if I zoom in here where I am now, let's get back to 6 months. Sorry. None of my favorite settings are on this since this is a new laptop. Okay. What's the difference? We said this needs to get up over, right? It has to break above. It's not. It's close to the high of yesterday. And then what's the volume situation? Well, we've got 35 minutes left. Average volume is 58.5 million. We're at 34. I think we'll be lucky to get to 40, 42 million. That's light, right? That's light. So what we were looking at was, is this the time that we're looking to start pulling the trigger? We said if Powell gives us some good indications today, maybe that would give us the pump. I'm not seeing it. I'm hearing some comments. I'm going to pause for just a second. I want to see what everyone's saying. Oh, you're not hearing anything. Are you hearing me now? Yes. Okay. Who are you hearing me while the chart's on? Are we getting both things simultaneously? I'm nervous that people were not seeing it. When I go look at the chart, do you still hear me? Okay, so if only a few people are not getting sound, I had both a few seconds ago. Okay, I'm gonna go back. I'm back on the charts, and hopefully you're still hearing me. Let's just make sure. So I'm gonna go check, and I'm hoping everyone's saying yes, we're still hearing you. Both going, yes. Okay. Okay. Fair enough. Fair enough. I mean, that was the big question, right? As we go through and we look across the board here, the question we were asking was, do we think that what we saw yesterday to today was a one-day consolidation, and we're now thinking that we're going to see and now we think we're going to see the follow through. It's not looking like that, right? As of right now, it looks like we're still grinding up against that resistance. And so for me, whoops, let me get back. Sorry. Let me make sure I'm seeing it. Flag forming, that's what I'm thinking, Clint. That's what I'm thinking is initially. So at first, the thought was, is this a one-day consolidation? Then the next thing we're thinking is it a flag? And if it's not a flag, what's next? Just a pullback. It doesn't look like a one-day consolidation to me. It looks like you can see our stochastics is continuing to come down. The buyers stopped the sellers today, but that was about it. We didn't get anything new from the Fed that we didn't already know, nor nor was I expecting that we would. I mean, I don't know if some people are or were, but yeah, I mean, I think we're still where we are. What do I expect? I expect that the market posture is going to increase this week. I think we're going to end up at least a 4.5, an extra point. I don't have it with me. I can't pull it up. This is the limited edition road show, unfortunately. But I expect the market posture to increase, but I'm still in a position of maintaining patience and discipline. Give me your thoughts about that. Let me know what you think. Um, let's move this back. Chart but no sound. Oh man, I don't know why it keeps going in and out. Did everybody lose sound, or is only one person losing sound? Um, if someone will maybe say hello to Bob and let him know maybe he should pop out and pop in. Took several profits today, Bob. Smart, smart. I think that's great. And David's exactly right. We need to go look at the VIX. What is the VIX telling us today? Oh, oh, that VIX. The low is 1576 on yesterday's candle. For me, if we close at or below that 1576, that's confirmation. And we're at 1580. We're within pennies of that that trigger that would be like, oh yeah, that's a lower high. Um, hmm. Honestly, if you were looking and you're like, I think I'm going to pull the trigger, we'll go to the watch list. If you pulled the trigger to carry through the weekend, I kind of feel like I'd be okay with that, especially when I see the VIX right here. If it closes at 1575 or lower, it has confirmed that this last little blip is in fact a lower high, and that's a bullish thing for us. That's going to score bullishly for us. Um, yeah, okay. Is anyone pulling the trigger on any new trades today? We looked at a couple. Let's get to no, let's look at a couple more things and then we'll get to the watch list. Hold on. From a calendar standpoint, just Fed signals August jobs data could punch ticket to half point cut. Oh, is that what they said? I didn't look at the verbiage. Is that what they're saying? They're going to watch the August jobs report. So what's that? First Friday in September. And what are they looking for? Are they looking for weakness in order to bump it to a half? I just think that's wishful thinking right there. I mean, we know that the market is so prone to wishful thinking. We've seen it overreact several times. What do we have? So next week we have durable goods, nothing there. Consumer confidence staying around 100. That's fine. GDP sitting around 2.8. We would love to see GDP stay 2.8 or higher, so that growth is above inflation. That's the goal, right? Pending home sales, we don't care. Friday next week, we have income spending, and we have PCE. Remember, that's the Fed's favored inflationary measures, PCE. Then the week after that, that's when we'll go into um, job data, labor market data. Here's today's heat map. I don't care about that. What do we have? We have a little bit of retail strength, Tesla, Home Depot. We have some chip strength, NVIDIA, TXN, AMD, right? That's one that we've been watching. Google, Apple, not Meta. Financials, Financials looking okay. That's where you probably have some go signals is in your financials, AXP, BAC, Citi. Intel's getting beat up today. I'm not sure what's going on there. Micron's getting beat up today. Yeah, let's go look at the Fed from an interest rate standpoint. Oh, okay. So since the Fed spoke, it has shifted from 75-25, which is 3-1 in favor of a quarter point basis or a quarter point cut. It's now moved 2-1, not even 2-1. So there's been a surge of people with expectations that they might get that half of a point. I still don't think so personally. Let me know your thoughts. Okay, let's get this back out. 6-month daily. Let me pause, take a look at the. Did I get your Goolsby quote today? No, did you email that to me? Where did you send that? I'll have to find that. Yes, email. Okay, I'll take a look. Hanging fast on JPM, SPY, and Fastenal. Okay. Clint says quarter. Miguel says quarter. Steven says a half. Is that what you want? Or is that what you think we're going to get? Is that what you think the probability favors? That's I mean, yeah, it'd be great. I just I don't know. No, not half. Okay. Okay. No half a point. I see what you're saying. I see what you're saying. Sorry, I misread that. I thought you meant no, comma, half a point. All right. Let's get to the watch lists. Let's just look around and see what's happening. And you can see here, we were looking for the vol to be below 1575. What's at 1589? I think it still indicates some uncertainty, right? So let's go through Apple. Oh, the toggle's working. Apple, no. Amazon, that's a beautiful looking flag. You know that's what we're looking for, are these flag patterns. It's not ready to go, but it's all set up for early next week. AXP, that's the stochastics hasn't turned, but the price action has. I think you're open for business on AXP, BAC. Oh, look at BLDR. I'm like, I don't know about BLDR. I don't know about that. And then look at it, thing taken off. Citigroup looks viable. Caterpillar looks fantastic. Caterpillar definitely looks viable. I think that if you thought about pulling the trigger for a financial or an industrial trade, I see it. Quite honestly, I might put on what would be a continuation alert next week. If I was at home and I had time, I'm like I said, I'm a couple hours north of my house getting my daughter dropped off at college, so I'm on the road show. I don't have all I need, but I would think about putting an alert out on these, to be perfectly honest. So, are we going to have the ability for a continuation trade? It's always a little bit more difficult putting trades on a Friday. I think you just have to be a little bit more leery about it. So Caterpillar, I like, viable. Colgate Palmolive, overextended for me. CMG. So for me on CMG, I'm not going to trade this until it breaks this high. This was the pre-bad news high. So before the news came out about the CEO leaving to go to Starbucks, he's switching from burritos to a barista. I want to see a higher high, higher low combo that takes out this level in order to want to trade that. Costco, still looking for the pullback. Carvana, man, I got to tell you, I just would be waiting still, but that could go. Look at the Dow today. I don't see why the Dow was 1.6% strong today, right? Still a weird issue between small caps and large caps. Fastenal, um, that is, I mean, it's just grinding, Miguel, right? It doesn't go wrong, doesn't really go right. It's just sort of grinding along. That's a tough one. That's a tough one. I'm not sure there's much you could do other than just kind of keep on grinding with it. GBTC, a little bit of something out of the take the higher high, right? Yeah. Um, I think the Fed will dip their toes instead of jumping in. Okay, Goolsby says job market in focus as inflation cools. Goolsby, you magnificent bastard. What do we have here? GBTC. Yeah. Okay, interesting. Gold bullish today. General Motors. I mean, what is going on? General Motors just General Motors is going to V all the way back up to 50. That's a 25% V. That is a deep. You talk about a deep V. That's a damn deep V right there. Google, Google. I'm a maybe on Google. I'm a maybe. Home Depot back at the highs, but not really through it, if you ask me. And there's the IWM. So Dow was up 1.6, IWM up 3%. What does that tell us about that battle for third? Tells us that the small caps are trying to move back into that space once again. So I think that lends itself to increased bullishness. JP Morgan, beautiful, keeps on going. This is one that never really, I mean, you can see the stochastics has turned sideways, but it hasn't really given any kind of pullback. So if you're in it, Miguel's in this one, great. Still making a little money. Carry through the weekend. See what's next. Home builders, KBH, getting a big pop all of a sudden. Coca-Cola, not great. Mickey Donald's hitting resistance, still needs a pullback. Meta still needs a pullback. 3M, not much there for me. Morgan Stanley looks like that looks beautiful right there. That's a flag. It flagged up, right? It gave us the pull. Let me see if I can draw this. Let's annotate. Here's the pull. I don't have a mouse. I'm on the pad here. Here's the flag. Now we're breaking that. Very similar, not quite the depth, but very similar to what we had back here. Yeah. Same kind of a thing. What are we looking for? That next move that goes the same distance. Morgan looks good. If you took it, I'd be like, yeah, I see what you're looking at. Give me your thoughts. Microsoft, not yet, but close. It's knocking. I'm smelling a trade that's going to come maybe Tuesday, Wednesday. No, it smells like, yeah, it smells like Tuesday to me. I mean, I'm just spitballing, but it smells like yeah, it smells like Tuesday. It smells like Tuesday. Micron. Micron looks fine. If you're like, oh, Micron's down, doesn't matter. Some are up, some are down. I don't care. Netflix is flagging. Nvidia is not, but it's got earnings in 3 days. I don't care. I'm not going to trade that one anyways. PLTR, beautiful. PLTR is coming to us for a trade this next week. I'll be ready for that one. QQQ. Nope, I didn't want this. Okay. Let's go to SPY. And let's see where we're at relative to the day for just a minute. Let me make sure I don't have any comments that I was missing. I'm going to zoom in a little here. I'm going to get rid of the overnight. If you've ever wondered how to do this, this will help you. I'm going to aggregate at the open, and then I'm going to zoom in again. Okay, so we went back up towards the high. Now we're backing off of it. If that's where we end up, I think it's still telling us that we have another day or two within the context of the consolidation before we move on, right? That's my thoughts. Let me peek in on chat, make sure I didn't miss anything. Okay. Covered call on NVIDIA. Oh, covered call. Okay. Okay. How's the vol there? I'm going to take a step back. Now that you told me that, I want to go look. NVIDIA with earnings coming up. I got to think, yeah, look at that. There's some good chunky vol in there. There's some good chunky vol. Let's get back out of here to 6-month daily. Okay. 204. I don't mind if I lose it. Got in a long time ago. All right. All right. I mean, the vol is great. You can see that you've. I like it. What's the strike price you put on that? That's well out of the money. It seems. Did you say 145? 145. We're at 128. 145 is 17 points. That's about 12%. Yeah, that would take a hell of an earnings announcement to get up there and get you, called out. What expiration is that? A September or is that a weekly? Yeah, I would expect that if it doesn't break the highs, that wall will bleed off and you'll be able to, buy that back for a quarter in a few days. 8:30? Oh God, yeah. Okay. I like it. It's a beast. I mean, you can see on this one here, 95, and within 4 days we got up to 150. I mean, that did it. If it does that again, but that's a lot. That's a lot. Okay, let's keep going. I like it. I like what you guys are doing. Um, Here's a question. As you look back over the last 3 weeks, did you overtrade or did you under trade or are you satisfied? Over, under, satisfied. I'm going to tell you right now that I'm actually categorizing mine as under. And I am saying that it was a mistake that I could and should have been a little bit more aggressive with the positions that I took. Okay. I mean, it's, I'm not like beating myself up or anything, but it is what it is. David's under with me. Bob is a little over. Clint says maybe a little under. Okay. Fair enough. That's always a good reflection for us to see. On vacation and under traded, didn't catch the V. Well, that's understandable if you're on vacation. Under for cap. Yeah, okay, so fair enough. I'm going to be more aggressive on this next pullback. I'll tell you that. Palantir looks great, flagging. The Qs look great, flagging. SPY just kind of sitting. I still think there's consolidation coming. TSM looks very close, knocking on the door close. So I want you to notice we've got early signs on financials and maybe some industrials. I think we'll continue getting those signs and then adding some technology, some communication services, um, and things look good. Look at the dollar today, so low today. The VIX, our mark was 1575. Now we're at 1595. So yeah, not quite there yet with the confirmation that we would be interested in seeing. Walmart has been a beast. Look at that. Walmart. It's like, yeah. Let's look at the sectors. We'll talk about our trading plan. Call it a weekend. Materials still pushing. Communication services just kind of pushing resistance. Energy trying to make a turn. That's not super great. Financials busting out. That's one that I like. Industrials busting out. That's one that I like. Technology, not quite yet. Staples, not quite yet. Utilities, XLV, healthcare, that's strong, but there's nothing for us to do with that. And then here's consumer discretionary. No, I think we're seeing it, right? I think, yeah, if you wanted to trade, if you wanted to carry a trade through the weekend, I think financials is the place. But we know that sometimes financials will move a little early and other times it'll give a bit of a head fake. Okay. Well, before we go, let's talk about trading plans. Can I get out of what list? Well, oh, I see it now. If you all send me 10K, I'll go on vacation. The market will go up. You're welcome. I didn't see that. Sorry, that was awesome. That was good. Love it. I was gonna say that's like the opposite of what we were talking about, where it's like, who's gonna be first to, go hard at this late market, only to get stopped out when it pulls back. Yeah. Let's recap. Market posture likely to increase this week by at least a half, if not a full point. We're starting to see some consolidations that are looking to move us into setups and triggers where we're seeing them in all of our growth areas, technology, well, financials first and foremost, technology behind that, or excuse me, industrials behind that. Then we have tech and comm services and a little bit of consumer discretion. So it's broad. We like the fact that it's broad. Yeah, I'm looking for trades this week, most definitely. If I were a betting man, I would have bet on at least two alerts coming out this next week. So looking forward to that. Trading plan wise, today or this week, we are finishing the section 2, market posture. So this is all about your market posture. It's all about your trading posture. It's all about your routines. Anything that can help you better understand conditions needs to be a part of what we're doing with our market posture, so that it's easier to go. So if you haven't, I would recommend, I'm going to go look there now. If you come into our trading resources and you come down here, we have a sample trading plan. You might have to scroll to the bottom of the list. Okay, so I have the content library, market posture, some things here, calendar, heat map. Then you have our placing your first stock trade. That's a good one. The placing your first options trade will be coming out soon. I'm going to be recording those and posting them probably in the next week. We'll get started with those. And then if you scroll all the way down, you have this sample trading plan here. And if you click on this sample trading plan here, it's going to give you this. And this is going to show you what it would look like for strengths and weaknesses and our various statements. And then we get a little bit lower down. And here's our market posture, market forecasting. What are the routines? I look at long-term trends. I look at short-term trends. I look at, right, these are all the things we do. And what I'm doing is just giving an idea of what am I looking at? What am I looking for? So if you need help with your trading plan, come in here, download this one, and give yourself a nice head start. Yeah. Give yourself a nice head start. I think that you'll find that to be very useful. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Let me get back into where I'm supposed to be here. It is very helpful, Lee said. Thank you, Lee. Lee's the one he was like, Scott, you keep telling me you're going to do it. And I'm like, I know, Lee, I'm going to. And then I finally did. And he was glad. So everyone can thank Lee for making sure that that got put on there. And now that it is, make sure you take advantage of it. That's it for me, you guys. Let's call it. We got about 5 minutes. I'll give it back to you. I will see you Sunday morning, 11 a.m. Eastern, 9 a.m. Mountain, where I am. I'll be back on my two big monitors at my comfortable chair with my excellent internet and fancy microphone. So it wasn't too bad. This wasn't too bad. We've had better. But yeah, let's take one last peek before we go. I just want to look at the SPY and the VIX. So the SPY, are we closing with buyers or with sellers? Ooh, it's a little mixed. The buyers are trying to give it one last little push. One last little push. It's back and forth. So, all right. Well, listen, you guys, thank you very much for your patience with today's slightly abridged versioning. It's good to see you. Have a great rest of your day, a nice weekend. I'll see you Sunday. And as always, happy trading.